What is it that your hope as a godly man on this field? What is the number one most important thing to you in God's eyes?
You know, you served well, you know.
Oh, to Jesus I surrender all. To Him I freely give.
I think about that often because, you know, my mother passed away young, and, you know, I wonder, in my prayer time, I'd like to hear Him say, you know, you served well. You served where we put you, and
I surrender all.
and you tried your best, you know, and sometimes it doesn't feel like you're making progress, but
I surrender all.
you know, when you get there, ultimately that's the championship we're all looking for, right?
All to Thee, my blessed Savior, I surrender all.
Hello everyone, welcome back to KALO on the Street, the show that is highlighting what godly men and women are doing to shine the light of Christ in our community. We are here because one man of God has stepped in as the new head coach of the Kaiser Cougars. His desire is to make an impact on this community, on this school, and most importantly, on these players. His name is Coach Martinez, and he's bringing a whole new level of coaching and thinking to this team.
I think everybody has a story, you know, and sometimes it's hard for me to share because I don't want to make it seem like my story is harder than other people. People have it harder than me in the world. I mean, and they had it harder than me than when I was younger, but it wasn't the easiest either. I think that everybody has their challenges in their families and their life. And I think those challenges and how we respond help mold us into who we want to be and who we become.
I know you're hurting, Noah. Try your best. Go, Colton. Beat him. Beat Oliver. Beat Oliver.
Well, I call him Coach. And I've had the privilege of working with him for over 10 years and knowing for over 10 years. Coach Martinez comes out of a real rough-hewn background. Not having a dad, having a single mom, growing up poor in Vallejo. He grew up on the rough side of the tracks. But to see where he is today, I'm always blown away by the grace of God.
It's definitely not the most conducive environment, but you know, there's joy in there too, because when there's love and honor and respect amongst the community, even though we're not as well off as others, I mean, you still learn love, you still learn values, you still learn honor. Definitely learned how to be caring, because my brother and I cared for my mom for quite some time, and then, in fact, so much so that at one point in my coaching career, we took a break and went to take care of her, and she went into full kidney failure, and then 7 months later she passed away. She died in my arms. You know, I was holding her. Yeah. So, but all those things teach you, and I think you look back and it kind of help shape your idea of what life is about.
Hey, great expectations. Let's go. Play with that. Know you're going to make a play.
Yeah, Coach was an athlete in high school. In fact, I happened to meet one of his high school classmates. And he was kind of known as one of the premier athletes in his high school.
Oh boy, I tell you, I share this all the time. Football saved my life. Football and sports, you know. So growing up in that environment that we're talking about, you know, there's a lot of things going on. You know, violence, there's domestic violence, there's a lot of stuff happening. You know, at our school, there's drug deals in the bathroom constantly. I mean, sports to me was, you know, that was my outlet. That was where I can just have fun and be free and compete. And I can funnel my energy towards that competition and funnel my passion that way. Then the second was, it gave me family. You know, again, I didn't have a strong male figure in my household. The guidance, the structure, the values, the work ethic,
Right.
all those things now my mom raised me well to care for others. Her favorite verse was the Beatitudes. But there's some things that you're going to learn from male figures too, you know, the strength side and the honor and the courage and gave me motivation that while other guys were dropping out of school or failing school, I was not going to, you know, those kinds of things. So yeah, early on football set the tone for me, I think.
Get it, get it, get it, get it, get it. PAT! PAT! Hey, be a leader, let's go. Confidence, don't mope around, Kendall. Let's go, let's go, let's go.
But his dream was to go and play for Cal Berkeley. Coach had offers at other places, you know, but he wanted to play for Cal Berkeley. The problem was Cal Berkeley didn't give him a scholarship. What Coach did was, and he's coming out of a poor background. He has no money. You know, his mom struggled with illness, and was just him and his brother, a single parent home. He studied, he took classes that would make him eligible, and so he walked on to Cal Berkeley, got accepted as a student, walked onto the team. He was a grad assistant there, worked there, helping coach there, and then he was able to take on, I believe, at a JC, where he coached at a junior college.
And I love the game, I love the strategy side of it, I love the behind the technique, everything, the building side of it. Obviously, I really appreciated the life structure it gave me, you know, as a young man. And so I said, well, you know, yeah, absolutely, let's try this out. So we started coaching in junior college in the Bay Area. So volunteering and worked my way up, and became a position coach, a paid position coach, then a coordinator, assistant head coach over the years.
And from there, he had married Charlene, and she was originally from here, and she always wanted to come back to Hawaii. And then he heard about the opening here at Moanalo High School.
They were hiring, Moanalo was hiring for a head coach in 2003. That one, it called out to me.
And Moanalo was kind of one of the laughing stocks of high school football here in Hawaii. There was so much division and negativity.
They needed a rebuild, and so it kind of called out to me a little bit, prayed on it, and so that's kind of how we ended up there. And then the transformation, I would have never have imagined, really. It was a combination of the school wanted something of quality, so they really worked hard, and then the administration and the kids and the families. But we provided a structure and a vision and a philosophy that we were going to build good people, students, and athletes. And that, and then the approach we took was to really run the program built on family values. You know, that we're going to respect each other, we're going to have we're going to love each other, and that was kind of foreign. You know, people, there's no love in football. People made fun of us.
Coach brought in this attitude that masculinity wasn't based upon how many men you could beat, how many teams you could beat, how many girls you could have, how much money you could have. That masculinity was something far greater than that. That what it means to be a great man was someone who loved, and someone who loved well. And so he taught his boys from the get-go. He said, this is what it means to be a man: to love each other, to love your teammates, to love your families, and to walk with that kind of love. No one back then ever talked like this here in Hawaii in football.
I said, well, that's okay. They can make fun of us, but we're going to be eventually get to a place where you guys understand that you play for something bigger than yourself, and it's not always a selfish desire. You play for each other, you play for your community, your family. It becomes a we thing instead of a me thing, and you surround that with love and encouragement. they start to love each other and take care of each other on and off the field. The chemistry grows, the bond grows.
The team began to turn around because he began to bring in this concept of love. You know, the Bible says love conquers all. And that's what began to happen here. And it was real love. Coach is a tough guy. But you see, people think love is some namby-pamby thing. They don't understand how tough love really is. And that's what he brought. He brought this sense of what it means to be a man who loves through tough situations. And that's what he would always say to the boys. It doesn't matter who we play, it's how we play. We play with love.
The players started to pray, you know, student-led prayer on their own, and they would pray before and after practice, and then they started inviting other teams to pray before the games, and really to change the atmosphere that, hey, we can be warriors against each other, but we're going to hug each other at the end, and really it's not about anger, animosity, or killing somebody, that kind of thing. You know, it was more, let's play the game out of respect, honor the game, and honor each other.
And pretty soon we came to the top of Division II, and we had an undefeated season. And so we took Division II.
We had a nice academic game plan and a way to project kids. We're sending guys to colleges, Division I, Division II, Division III.
One of our guys is playing for Clemson right now, the #1 or #2 team in the country. And he's starting. And you know, the boys began to see life much greater than just football, and yet they excelled in football.
We were doing, you know, life skills class, meet once a week starting from January to May for the second semester. And we have speakers come in, head coaches from colleges would come. And then after that, we serve food at the shelter. So we would,
team.
Yeah, so we would take 10 different guys every week, and we'd go to IHS, we'd serve food, we'd clean, we'd mop, and just consistently teaching them that it's not about you, it's about what you can do for other people. That helps you grow, helps you reach your dreams.
Many of the boys that are playing today, they come from out of broken homes. They don't go home and they see their dads at home. They don't sit around a dinner table and eat dinner together. Okay? That's not the common thing. But I'm telling you, when they see the coach and they see his wife and his family on the sidelines, they are seeing something that is not common for them. And it is modeling something far greater to these boys.
11 years, 3 championships, 1 undefeated. How did you end up here at Kaiser?
After stepping down, feeling like the Lord said, your work here is done, son, that I felt the calling, that it was time to give them have another voice. We're weighing out the options. You know, do we move? We actually had our house up for sales on the market, and you know, how are we going to do this? You know, where's the Lord leading us? So a lot of prayer. You know, it was hard to step away. A lot of good people, a lot of special people. So you're saying, how do we get here? So my daughter goes to school here. We live in the neighborhood, right, really close. And we go to church, New Hope here. We're kind of tuned into what's happening, and then the coach leaves, decides that he has different responsibilities he has to take care of, but now it's crunch time because the season's going to start. So not the most opportune time. Like, how much can you get in such a short period of time? No one's ever heard of taking over a program with a month and a half before a game starts. How are we going to bond? How do you build team chemistry? Hard to build team chemistry in that short of time. Transformation's hard for a lot of people, for one, but then all of a sudden to get it at accelerated pace is very difficult, right?
Kidding.
So to understand that,
Crash course.
That's right. We're building the plane while we're flying it.
And here comes Coach Martinez, and he has to now fight the local culture where here is a mainland guy coming in telling us what to do, and overcome really those obstacles.
So a lot of things to decide on. So heavy prayer. A lot of prayer but then all signs kept saying the same things you're teaching your players, I'm going to let you see. Serve others, you know, and you may want that job back at the college level or at the pro level. Of course anybody would, a chance, right? Coach at the highest level. I got a taste of it with 2 teams and it was great. But I think that the thing that kept hitting me hard was be a light, be a light, be a light. You know, you can help. With your skill set, you can help. So we got the word that yes, this is the place I want you to serve.
So what Coach brings into the picture is he brings a winning mentality of what it means to win, of what it means to win in life. Coach will say this. He said, don't judge me by my record today. He says, because I don't judge myself by my record today. Judge me 10 years from now by how these boys turn out. That will be the record.
So we saw some things that were okay, and then there were some major things that needed some changes. So like for one is, I believe in pride in your environment, quality in your environment. You know, when there's graffiti all over the place, there's pornography written in the lockers or whatever it is, just damage in there, and then it's dirty. What you're saying is we don't care. So how can we care more? And so what we did was, you know, we got a lot of volunteers. God bless them. God bless their souls, because people from the church chipped in money for paint. And you know, paint was like thousands, but the people that came to work, we had painters come in from a painting company.
He brought a professionalism. He changed up the locker room. He repainted. He spent thousands of dollars of his own money.
So many people, community members, people from the church came power washed. I mean, it was just amazing how many people said, let's help them build something, you know. And so yeah, so then we let the kids come in, and obviously now they have a mini college locker room style locker room, and we work to keep it clean. We take pride in it. So these are values again for life, not for football. We want to win in life. We don't want to just win, you know, one night a week. I tell them all the time, we can't just win on one night. What about winning on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday? How do we win on those days? How do we win in the locker room? And I win in the locker room, yeah. Keeping it clean, keeping it organized, taking care of each other in there. No stealing. You know, they were stealing in here last year. You know, with hazing, you know, that kind of stuff. Now it's mixed. There's no cliques. You got seniors and freshmen in this area, seniors and freshmen in that area. We're all mixed. I told them, you don't get to pick your locker. I pick your locker. So I put the strongest guys in the certain areas I want them. I said, you're here because I know you're going to be a leader. So you lead this area. I think the main thing there too is that they saw coaches and community willing to give of themselves to them. And that's the biggest thing I want them to see, is to learn from.
Before Coach Martinez came, our team wasn't as close. The brotherhood was lacking. Our family kind of base wasn't there.
Again, it's people, students, and athletes in that order. So I tell the coach all the time, coach the person, don't coach the athlete. Coach the kid, talk to them. What are they feeling? You know, there's that old saying in coaching, they don't care how much you know until they know how much you care, right? So, you know, you gotta legitimate, and then kids know if you're phony. If you really care about them doing great things in their life, then they'll care too.
And ever since Coach came, the culture has been super, and I can't believe it's real, you know what I mean? Like, I haven't experienced such a great change. Like, he gave us so much, this locker room, equipment.
And so I made a lot of calls with vendors that I dealt with for, you know, decades, and said, I don't have any money, but this is what I need. I need $4,000 worth of equipment, you know, or I need, and praise God, they said, you got it, and we'll bill you later. And I think the biggest challenge is getting the senior group and the older players, the varsity guys, to buy in. Well, this is how we used to do it. You have to get rid of that. This is how we used to do it. Well, what did that get you? Were you happy with that? I mean,
and you know, what I see him doing right now at Kaiser is he's laying down this seed right now. See, everybody's used to say, no, show us the wins today. Show us the wins today. How come you're not playing my boy? How come you're not doing this? How come you're not doing this so we can win today? And coaches say, no, I'm here to build men. That 10 years from now, these are going to be the leaders of our community. Whether they are in our churches or not, that's up to them. I'm going to show them what God's kingdom is like. And they should be leaders of our community. They should be the firemen, the policemen, the businessmen, the teachers, the principals that will bring good community for the state of Hawaii and wherever they go. That's what coaches bring into Kaiser.
In my prayer, I think sometimes I hear the Lord saying, if you reach one soul, then it's worth it. You know, then all the challenges and all the people who are against you, it's still worth it.
He said, I respect all different faiths. I respect whatever faith you're in. You know, whatever you believe in, that's fine. But I'm telling you, this is what I believe in. And I'm telling you, God has seen me through the worst times.
When I make decisions or we make decisions, I get a lot of input. It's not always just a unilateral thing. And then And then really the main input's got to be, for me, it's God driven. That are they treated well? Is there a good environment, safe environment for these kids? Are we impacting lives in a positive way? Are we giving them tools to be successful for the rest of their life?
Oh, he has a kind of these 3 rules for every practice that is kind of engraved into our heads. It was have a purpose, which is like keep making goals to practice. And then the next one was maximum effort. Everything we do, we got to give 100% or more if we can. And then the third rule would be great expectations. You should never think lowly of yourself or your teammates. You should always climb the higher heights with each other and yourself. So those 3 rules, I think, really engraved in me, and I can apply to anywhere I go. Wow. It's like football, family, work, school, anything.
Winning games is a byproduct of all of the other stuff.
Right. Yeah.
That comes because of that stuff, yeah. And we'll get there. And I think that, you know, as long as we continue to work for the right reasons, then we can build a program that has sustainability and it has goodness at its core.
Tonight, we are here at Kaiser High School for the 3rd game of the Kaiser Cougar football season. I can't take it any longer. Let's get out there and check out the game.
Let's go, have fun tonight. Team first.
Because we tell our guys, don't define yourself as a football player and what you do on the field. Define yourself as what type of character you have. Who are you as a person? Ooh. You know, and we tell our guys, coach the person, don't coach the athlete. That's the key. We're not trying to win a football game on a Friday night thinking that that's going to supply me with all the things I need forever. It's not.
So he wasn't really preparing us for football. He was preparing us for like a whole life after football.
Winning was not number one. He wanted to win. There is no greater competitor than Arnold Martinez, okay? I mean, when you make a mistake, you know you made a mistake, okay? And he's got video to show you your mistake too. So he's a competitor. But at the end of the day, I remember once we lost a game, and it was a close game. He brought us together, and he says, boys, this is not our identity. This does not identify who we are. We are a team that loves one another. That's what identifies us. I said, I'm crying. I'm going, okay, who does these things? Who does these things? You know, I thought, what if every person in our congregation brings this kind of attitude to their marketplace, to their families? You know, we would transform Hawaii.
You cannot define your life based on a football game, based on putting on a helmet, thinking you're better or something than somebody. It's not. Everybody here are regular people. And you are blessed because you get to play a great game. Okay? But at the end of it, you're not less of that person that you were when you started. And if you win, you're not a better person than when you started. You guys understand that? Doesn't change you. It will get better, trust me, okay? But just hang in there. We're proud of you. Don't worry about that, okay? So nobody's upset, nobody's mad. You know, coaches, we don't get mad about losing, okay? You guys got it? And there's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you. Because people who think that don't come out here and work their tail off like you. They don't battle like you. They don't put gear on and bodies and pound like that, right? They just like to talk over there. Don't worry about it. Kill them with kindness. You are doing great things. That's what you need to take pride in. Keep doing great things.
Winning a football game is a great feeling. Winning anything for that matter. But Coach Martinez has his sights on a bigger victory. Impacting the lives of his players, that they might come to know the value of godliness. He models character, integrity, and what a man of God looks like. And he gives his players a front row seat into his life through the wins and the losses. And with God's guidance, he is making an impact on the lives of these young men. So my question now to you is, what impact are you making? Sometimes we think that we have to be a pastor or a missionary in order to make an impact for Christ. But as Coach Martinez proves, you can shine the light wherever you are. Whatever victories or losses you might be dealing with today, let those around you see godliness in you. Nobody's perfect. We all make mistakes. So take the time to ask God for the guidance and for the wisdom on how you can make an impact today.
You know, Coach grew up without a father. He didn't have a dad who would say to him, "Son, you're doing so good. I'm so proud of you." He never heard that growing up. And I think when he sees God, Jesus is going to wrap his arms around him and say, "I'm so proud of you, son. You really showed what a man is." Our great coach in heaven, Jesus, is going to be so proud of Coach, as a father would be of his son.